Hello, I am Zalah. The audio that you're about to listen to was recorded at a live Center for Transformation event and is being made available as a tool for your spiritual journey. Please enjoy.
What if I told you that we live in aqueous substance? We do. We just don't realize it. And so for me to tell you that, it's like asking a fish, how's the water in there? Fish would say, what water? And so aqueous substance is atmospheric. It's also the giver and the taker of all life, aqueous substance. Brain, aqueous substance. The baby bag, aqueous substance. The clue that we're in an atmosphere of aqueous substance is the Big Dipper. What are dippers used for? And so it's very interesting because aqueous substance is the giver and the taker of all life. You realize that if you study the plains of Serengeti at all, because it's just so essential. So we don't know. Life on this planet is greatly birthed through aqueous substance. How much water are you outside of your brain, your body? Mostly aqueous substance. Look at the planet. Look at how much aqueous substance we have on the planet. My God. As an aside, Canada has more freshwater lakes than the rest of the world combined. Most people do not know that. A lot of them are unpolluted because a lot of places in Canada haven't been stepped on by a human before because we're so vast. Now, why are we starting this off this way? Well, what if I told you that life was like a swimming pool? Life is like a swimming pool. It's about the choices that you make. Destiny is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choices. Your life is continually being pulled apart and get put back together on a higher or a lower level depending on your choices. So what if I told you that life was like a swimming pool in a number of ways? First off, it's about aqueous substance. On that basis, most people are in the pool. Most people are flailing in panic in the pool and losing the battle. They're treading water, they're becoming exhausted, they're tiring. And some are outright drowning and others are outright dying. Most are giving their life force away excessively. So uptight. It's exhausting. Most are starting to realize that they're hopeless and they don't know what to do except flailing around in the pool. You know, if you could see it from a certain perspective, it looks like a bunch of piranha in the water, just flailing around over on top of each other excessively. Occasionally someone will hop out of the pool either through enough contemplation or through a physical disaster. Right here, the help of a lifeguard greatly assists. A master. A lifeguard. A master. Perhaps more than just a metaphor. When one sits on the side of the pool, calms down, meditates, one gets to realize that they were actually in over their head in the water. They're in over their head. It's exhausting. As one meditates, one realizes that by relaxing and becoming calm and getting out of the pool, that it was actually insane not to do it sooner with greater tranquility. As one sits outside the pool, not only is it refreshing, but it becomes obvious that maybe, perhaps, one could own the pool, the illusion, instead of the pool owning them. With the help of a lifeguard, they're reinforced with this. With the help of a lifeguard, they start to examine going within and staying on the side of the pool as an absolute necessity to cope in the pool. Never mind actually owning the pool. Through instruction, or regular outside the pool, one starts to receive what's called divine intervention. From the lifeguard, from the self, as to the techniques, as to owning the pool. As this occurs, one gets caught about the lessons of life, the lessons. Maybe lessons should be spelled Less space SINS, the lessons of life. As one sits in silence on the sidelines and spends more time going within versus flailing, one gets sacred, brackets, secret lessons. The instructions come by letting go, relaxing, calm, and trusting that everything was purposeful. The lifeguard can teach you that when you relax, you can actually float on life. The pool. Can't do it if you're frantic. Can't do it if you're in fear. You got to relax. You can enjoy the pool by floating, but you have to focus on trust and your ability to float, and best of all, that it comes naturally, but only when you relax. Confirmation that your divinity is in your tranquility. Now you can re-enter the pool, the illusion, and float with little effort and enjoy the life. Because you realize that life happens for you, not to you. As soon as you realize that everything in life happens for you, not to you, and when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Life occurs differently for you now. Life occurs differently for you once you learn this. Oh, you can go back to your old way of fearing and flailing. Everybody else is doing it. At this point, you can notice that the others who are flailing have not reached your point of understanding. They haven't. In fact, as one becomes advanced in floating, one can swim in the illusion of the pool and go wherever one wants to go as a master of the pool and have fun. One is then no longer owned by the pool, or for that matter, by any fears therefrom. One is now having fun, relaxing in the pool. There's lots of games to be played if you're mobile, can float and swim. In fact, everything is actually refreshing. A whole new perception on the pool. A new dynamic surfaces when this occurs. You realize you can accomplish anything with a light heart, have fun, in the midst of other people flailing in fear and panic. Life happens to you when you're busy flailing around in the pool. When you get into this new reality, it's obvious that the only thing that ever matters is God going within. You soon realize the only thing that will survive your death is yourself. In order to conquer the illusion, you must become immersed in it to develop compassion, then get back out of it in order not to be owned by it. In order to not let it own you, you must do something in realizing steadfastly that your divinity is in your tranquility. Surrender. Surrender to this new way, but don't give up. You can surrender without giving up. If you get a flat tire, you don't burn the car. You just pull it over, say, I got a flat tire. There's a difference between surrender and giving up. By surrendering, you soon realize what makes you present to your God and access your divine powers. The idea is to own the pool by getting into it, getting out of it, getting back into it, but not being owned by it this time. And last but not least, enjoying it. You'll go through a series of in and out until you completely master what I'm telling you. You're ultimately extremely thankful for the experience of the pool in terms of being owned by it. And you eventually realize that there's a destiny that makes us brothers and sisters. No one goes this way alone. No one. All that we send into the hearts of others comes back into our own. That is the lesson of the pool.
I trust that this audio has made an impression on your heart and soul. For more recordings like this one and information about the Center for Transformation, go to thecft.ca or call 403-278-8859. Blessings. I am Zalah.